Our whole lives we're told to save money, build up that nest egg, right? Secure your retirement. But what if we've been saving the wrong thing? What if the real key to our future security isn't in a bank account at all? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical idea that takes on one of life's biggest challenges, using a currency that every single one of us has: time.
Yeah, it's a question that hits all of us at some point, right? As our world changes and families are more spread out, the old answers just don't seem to work anymore. And this isn't some far-off, hypothetical problem. It's a reality check that's happening right now, all across the globe. Okay, so just how big is this problem we're talking about? To really get why we need a new way of thinking, you have to understand the sheer scale of the challenge we're facing. And the numbers, well, they tell a pretty startling story. Just look at how fast this is all happening. The UN is projecting that by 2050, 1 out of every 6 people on this planet will be over 65. To put that in perspective, just a few years back, that number was 1 in 11. So this isn't some slow, gradual shift. It's a full-on tidal wave of change happening within our lifetimes. And then, of course, there's the money. In the United States, for example, any guesses what the average annual cost of a nursing home is? It's around $100,000 a year. Even just getting some basic help at home can run you 60 grand. I mean, that's a price tag that puts professional care completely out of reach for most families. And this right here perfectly shows the massive gap between need and support. In China, you have 45 million older adults who need care. And on the other side, only 500,000 certified caregivers to provide it. 45 million versus 500,000. You can see the system is just completely overwhelmed. It's a staggering mismatch that the traditional ways just can't fix. So, if the old models are breaking down and money isn't the solution for everyone, where do we go from here? Well, the answer might be hiding in plain sight, in the one resource we all have in common: time itself.
So here's the core idea. Time banking says that everyone's time is equally valuable. An hour you spend teaching someone how to use a computer is worth exactly the same as an hour spent gardening, or an hour just sitting and keeping someone company. It's not about market value, it's about human value. Simple as that. The system itself is actually beautifully simple. Let's say you help your neighbor with their groceries for an hour. Boom, you've just deposited one time credit into your account. Then, a few weeks later, when your sink starts leaking, you can withdraw that credit, and another member, maybe a retired plumber, can come over and fix it for you. It's basically a formal system for something we all understand. You help me, I'll help you. And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. It's a real-world solution that's actually being used in over 60 countries. So let's take a quick trip around the globe and see how different communities are putting this whole idea into action. What's so cool is how flexible this concept is. In Portland, you've got this classic local model where neighbors have been physically helping each other out for nearly 30 years. But then you have a totally digital version like Time Republic in Switzerland. There, you could trade an hour of online fashion advice for an hour of guided meditation with someone on the other side of the planet. It's the same principle, just applied in completely different ways. Now, China's model is really fascinating because it focuses specifically on the aging population. And they have this brilliant twist: lower-aged elders helping higher-age elders. Think about it. Folks who just retired in their 60s are still active and healthy. They can help out their neighbors who are in their 80s and 90s, banking credits along the way. And here's the real genius. They can then use those credits for themselves a decade or two down the road. It's not just volunteering, it's a direct investment in your own future care. But the real power of time banking, the real magic, goes way beyond just a simple transaction. It rebuilds something that modern life can really chip away at, and that's our sense of community connection. Check out this data from Portland. It's pretty telling. While they have members from all age groups, the single largest demographic is people in their 40s. They make up over a quarter of all the users. And that makes total sense, right? This is the sandwich generation, juggling careers, their own kids, and their aging parents. For them, a time bank isn't just a nice idea, it's a critical lifeline. And this is where you see the true heart of the whole thing. In China, they have this concept called the shared grandma, and it solves multiple problems at once. You'll have retired teachers who help out working parents by picking up their kids from school and reading to them. In return, they earn time credits for their own future care, all while forming these incredible bonds with the youngest generation. It's just really powerful stuff. And get this, here's a completely unexpected benefit. About 10% of young college graduates in China who volunteer in a time bank are so moved by the experience, they actually go on to pursue careers in elder care. Now, think back to that massive caregiver shortage we talked about earlier.
Time banking isn't just providing care, it's creating a whole new pipeline of passionate, professional caregivers. So, if this system is so powerful, why isn't it everywhere? Well, the biggest hurdle is figuring out how to scale up something that's fundamentally built on local community trust. So let's look at the challenges and the path forward.
All right, tackling these issues is the key to growth. For trust and transparency, some are looking at using things like blockchain technology, which is basically a super secure digital ledger that nobody can tamper with. For safety, you start simple with low-risk tasks like grocery shopping. And to grow beyond just one neighborhood, you start building citywide networks. This is the ultimate vision for scale, and it's amazing. Cities are already planning regional networks where these time credits are portable. Just imagine it. You could volunteer for an hour helping a neighbor in your city and then instantly transfer that credit to your mom or dad living hundreds of miles away so they can get an hour of help from someone in their community. It's care that completely transcends geography. It kind of forces you to step back and reconsider what wealth really means. In a world facing a historic care crisis, maybe the most secure retirement plan isn't a bank account full of money, but a community rich in trust, connection, and shared time. It's definitely something to think about.